Secure communications are vital for defense and strategic agencies world over, and distribution of encryption keys from time to time is an important requirement in this context. Sharing of keys over the air or wired links requires encryption, which in turn requires encryption keys to be pre-shared. Quantum-based communication offers a robust solution to sharing of the keys securely. Defense Research and Development Organization DRDO undertook the project for the development of this technology. A milestone of this project was achieved today when DRDO developed quantum key distribution QKD technology, underwent trials in Hyderabad between two DRDO labs, the Defense Research and Development Laboratory DRDL and the Research Center Imarat RCI, to show secure communication. Raksha Mantri Shri Rajnath Singh congratulated the DRDO team for successful demonstration of the QKD communication. This is considered to be a very crucial and a path-breaking important news of all the important defense updates that we have seen until now. Hello everyone and welcome back to the defense updates that are being provided by SSB Crack Exams. I am Hemant and I am here back again to discuss with you some of the most important strategic Indian and international defense inputs. If in case you are preparing for the defense examinations like NDA, CDS, AFCAT, INET, Territorial Army, Indian Air Force, Airmen, Group X, Group Y, the Central Armed Police Forces, Assistant Commandant's examination, and even the Military Nursing Service and the Army Cadet College examinations, I recommend you to please go through the respective courses that are there in our Android app. So I highly recommend you to download the Android app, or you can even go through our website learn.ssbcrackexams.com, go through all the important courses and subscribe yourself to your favorite course, and then you can have the complete detailed important lecture content, sample practice questions, quizzes and various other important study materials which will be very crucial for examination preparation. We are even providing mock tests that are extremely important and crucial and are made taking into consideration the latest exam patterns. You can even follow us on all sorts of social media platforms to keep yourself updated with Indian and international defense inputs. Beginning with the question of the day that I have asked on 9th of December 2020, that is yesterday, and the question that I asked was, which country's soldiers will take part in the large-scale military parade celebrating Azerbaijan's victory in the Nagorno-Karabakh war victory in Baku on Thursday? I repeat, which country's soldiers will take part in the large-scale military parade celebrating Azerbaijan's victory in the Nagorno-Karabakh war victory in Baku on Thursday? That means today. So the correct answer for that particular question is Turkey. Okay, so the Turkey is that particular country which has participated in today's important Azerbaijan's victory parade. So according to the spokesperson of the Azerbaijani Defense Ministry, it has been invited by the President Ilham Aliyev. The Turkish soldiers arrived in Baku to take part in military parade to celebrate its victory in the Nagorno-Karabakh. We have to understand that up to 150 military vehicles, including new military equipment, artillery pieces, air defense systems, were all adopted, and all of them have demonstrated. The Turkish weaponry was demonstrated in the Azerbaijani victory parade, and even the Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan also attended this particular ceremony. That is it regarding this important question of the day that I have asked yesterday. Now we will begin with the first and foremost important defense update, and that is regarding the Chief of Staff of the Japanese Air Self-Defense Force, General Izutsu Shunji, has arrived our country on 9th of December 2020, day before yesterday, and is actually on a formal visit to our country and is on a friendly visit to our country. And both Air Chief Marshal Rakesh Kumar Singh Bhaduria, the Chief of Air Staff of the Indian Air Force, is completely conversing with General Izutsu Shunji regarding various other important bilateral issues and the updates. We have to understand and go through in detail that on his arrival at the air headquarters, he was presented with a guard of honor. In subsequent discussions, both of them have recognized the progress made in defense ties between India and Japan and discussed avenues to further enhance cooperation and interoperability between the two air forces. They also discussed the scope for enhancement of joint exercises and training between the two air forces. A broader cooperation for strengthening collective response to the humanitarian assistance and disaster relief contingencies were also discussed. Both of these countries have made the defense ties between the countries and have discussed avenues to enhance cooperation and interoperability between both the air forces. Going through now with the next important update is regarding the successful trials of the 5.56 by 30 joint venture protective carbine JVPC is now has completely done. The successful trials of this particular carbine is done. This is how that particular JVPC looks. So it is actually designed by the DRDO's Armament Research and Development Establishment, ARDE Pune. Remember, it is Armament Research and Development Establishment. So it is designed by that, and it has undergone its final phase of the user trials on 7th of December 2020, meeting all the GSQR parameters. And what is it, sir? Actually, it is a gas operated semi bullpup automatic weapon having more than 700 rounds per minute rate of fire. We have to understand that it is a very important gas operated semi bullpup automatic weapon. So the effective range of the carbine is more than 100 meters, sir. It is what? It is more than 100 meters, and it weighs about 3 kilograms. The weight of this carbine is 3 kilograms with key features like high reliability, low recoil, retractable butt, ergonomic design, single hand firing capability, and multiple Picatinny rails, etc. These features make it a very potent weapon for counterinsurgency or counterterrorism operations by the security agencies. Going through now with the next important update is regarding Raksha Mantri Shri Rajnath Singh ji has addressed the 14th ASEAN Defense Ministers meeting plus ADMM plus meeting online. If you have already gone through the important defense updates that I have discussed today before, and even if you have already gone through the important military exercises that are being conducted by the Indian Armed Forces and they are already live by XSB Crack exams, there you will be going through this particular important military exercise. So this is regarding a very important one. So every year the ASEAN member countries and also with the important various other friendly observing countries will join together, and all of the defense ministers only will join together, and then they will have a meeting. So this is the 14th round of that particular meeting. It was held online, it was organized online at Hanoi in Vietnam on 10th of December 2020. It marked the 10th anniversary of ADMM plus meeting. Okay, so this is actually the 10th anniversary of the meeting, but it is a 14th defense ministers meeting, and this is considered to be a very crucial one, which includes 10 ASEAN countries and 8 partner countries. Mention in the comment section what all are the 10 ASEAN countries. The full form of ASEAN is Association of the Southeast Asian Nations. So Rajnath Singh ji has called the launch of an Indo-Pacific Oceans initiative by the Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi in the last year's East Asia Summit. You have to understand that ADMM Plus is an annual meeting of the defense ministers of these countries, which include 10 ASEAN countries and 8 partner countries. So during his address, Shri Rajnath Singh has underlined the key role of ASEAN-centric forum in promoting dialogue and engagement towards pluralistic, cooperative security order in Asia. He highlighted the collective achievements of the ADMM Plus in the past decade in advancing multilateral cooperation through strategic dialogue and practical security engagements. We have to understand that he complemented the achievements of the 7 expert working groups in sharing best practices in key domains including maritime security, humanitarian assistance and disaster relief, counter-terrorism and peacekeeping operations. He also reiterated India's support to the freedom of navigation and overflight for all in international waters in accordance with the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea or UN clause. He underlined the importance of mutual interest and confidence based on restraint in activities and actions that may further complicate the situation in the region. Going through with the next update is regarding the quantum communication between the two DRDO laboratories is now successful. We have to understand that quantum communication is a little bit different when we are talking about the communication with the other sorts, because if we are talking about the other communication, it might be electronic or optical fiber cable will also be taken into consideration. But here the information is actually quantized. The meaning of quantum is if you are taking this particular quantum into different particular packets, if one particular packet is actually set into motion, then automatically the other one will also be set into motion. In a simpler words, if you have to understand that if in any case, like if the data will be shared in different sort of packets and one packet will be kept with the option A, like for suppose there are A and B, there are two important persons. So if A is going to send the data packets, then from A, one packet he will keep it with himself and the other will be gone all the way up to B. The main meaning of the quantized meaning is that whatever changes will happen to the another one will also have a change on the initial one. So we have to understand that this will make the system much more robust, and encryption will be made much more simpler, and it will be made much more secure. So the DRDO has developed this particular quantum key distribution technology. It is also known as the QKD technology. It underwent trials in Hyderabad between two labs which include the DRDO and RCI. This is to show the secure communication. So it is actually developed by the Center for the Artificial Intelligence and Robotics, which is located in Bengaluru, and the DRDO Young Scientist Laboratories of the Quantum Technology in Mumbai. So it is based, the security against the eavesdropping was validated for the deployed system at over 12 kilometers of range and 10 decibels of attenuation over the fiber optic channel. We have to understand that secure communications are vital for defense and strategic agencies world over. The distribution of the encryption keys from time to time, it is an important requirement in this context. So the technology is developed by the CAIR Bengaluru and DYSL QT of Mumbai. Quantum communication using time-bin quantum key distribution scheme was performed under realistic conditions. The setup also demonstrated the validation of the detection of a third party trying to gain knowledge of the communication. Quantum-based security against eavesdropping was validated for the deployed system at over 12 kilometers range and 10 decibels of attenuation over the fiber optic channel. Continuous wave laser source was used to generate photons without depolarization effect. The timing accuracy employed in the setup was of the order of the picoseconds, and the single photon avalanche detector or SPAD recorded arrival of the photons, and key rate was achieved in the range of kbps with low quantum bit error rate. The work being done at DRDO will be used to enable startups and subject matter experts in the domain of quantum information technologies. It will also serve to define the standards and crypto policies that can leverage the QKD system in a unified cipher polity committee framework for more secure and pragmatic key management for current and future military cryptographic systems. Going through with the next important update is regarding the United States has dominated the global arms trade in the year of 2019, and India is also recorded as a second top importing, that means the defense arms importing country, according to the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute report, also known as the SIPRI report. SIPRI will publish the report annually every year discussing about the international peace, disarmament and security related issues. So in the terms of the total military spend, India is at rank number 3, where United States is at first rank and China is at second rank. If in case you are considering about the importing country, then India will be in the second place, and in the first place will be the United States. So US was first place was it goes to the Saudi Arabia. So the US was the most dominant player in arms export, according for the 36% of the global trade, while the Middle East made its first appearance among the 25 biggest weapons manufacturers during the year. If you have to go through detail regarding the pie charts and the graphical analysis that is being given by the SIPRI, we have to understand that India is now considered to be 9.2% of the international defense import equipment importing country, whereas the first place goes to Saudi Arabia, which is around 12%. Chronologically, after Saudi Arabia comes India, Egypt, Australia, China, Algeria, United Arab Emirates, Iraq and Qatar. Going through, we have to understand that India is the third largest military spender in the world. If you have to go through the details regarding that, around 3.4% of the GDP was utilized in the United States of America in spending its for the defense inputs. And we have to understand that China has used around 1.9% of GDP, but India has utilized 2.4% of its national GDP in procuring and dealing with the international military spending. So that is it regarding this particular one. And if you have to go through, the other countries include Russia, Saudi Arabia, France, Germany, United Kingdom and Japan. Going through now with the next important update is regarding Russia has been into this particular feeling. Recently, Russian Foreign Minister Mr. Sergei Lavrov has released very important statements regarding the relationship between India and China and with the India and the Indo-Pacific relations, and it was very alarming for each and every particular Indian defense aspirant and also the Indian defense analysts. They were very shocked to hear what he said. He said that the West is trying to engineer a split between between Moscow and New Delhi. He's literally feeling that the Western countries indirectly relating towards the United States of America. He's been telling that the USA and the other Western countries are trying to make up the differences between, and they are trying to build up gaps between both Russia and India, but we have to go through regarding that. So he also ignored the Chinese aggression also. This was also very alarming, and the Russian foreign minister, he said the Western powers are trying to engage India in an anti-China game. He also said that the West wants to weaken India's alliances with different global powers to maintain what he calls a unipolar world order. With those words, Moscow seems to have effectively given a clean sheet to Beijing. You have to understand that the Indian government wanted the Chinese troops to withdraw, but China hasn't listened. So today, India spoke publicly. The development comes at a time when SFG has been leading protests in Canada, US and UK in front of the Indian missions in the name of solidarity for the farmer protests in India. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar says the India-China relationship has been significantly damaged this year and that it cannot be business as usual with China as long as the PLA is on the border. He was speaking actually to an American think tank where he shared the latest assessment on China border standoff, and he said that China is a major breach of bilateral agreements, and the Chinese side has given 5 different explanations to explain the provocation, but it absolutely failed to explain why they did not adhere to the agreements. Going through with the next important and the final update is regarding India has been now offered to the United States Navy regarding the deal of the naval Tejas aircrafts. So India is offering the LCA Tejas Navy lift as a carrier borne trainer for the United States Navy. In a very simpler words, we have to understand that India is now trying to think to offer these LCA Tejas naval version aircrafts as the trainer aircrafts for the pilots of the marine pilots of the United States Navy. Okay, so US is still evaluating this particular offer for, and it is trying to use these Tejas aircrafts for the undergraduate jet training system or UJTS system that is actually used by the naval pilots of the US Navy. And India has sent actually a very detailed report and a plan. This includes advanced avionics that were actually enable the lift LCA to mimic almost all types of fighter jets from the cockpit display layout all the way up towards the control performances. So India responded to the official request for information with a lead in the fighter trainer version of the indigenous light combat aircraft, and the aircraft offer brings in experience gained by the Indian developers from the naval version of the LCA that has successfully demonstrated operations from an aircraft carrier. That is it regarding all of these important defense inputs. Now we will have a very quick review by going through some of the most important questions. And the first and foremost question is, the Chief of Staff of Japan Air Self-Defense Force has arrived India on 9th of December 2020. Who is he? Okay, here is option A, General Ijutsu Shunji. Going through with the next important question is, which organization designed 5.56 by 30 mm protective carbine that has successfully undergone the final phase of user trials on 7th December 2020, meeting all the GSQR parameters? And the correct answer for that is option C, Armament Research and Development Establishment, ARD, Pune. The next question is, the DRDO has developed the quantum key distribution QKD technology. It has underwent trials in Dash to show secure communication. It has underwent the trials in Hyderabad, and it has gone through between DRDL and RCI in Hyderabad, and it was very, very successful and path-breaking effort that has been made by the DRDO to our country. Going through with the next important question is, the DRDO's quantum communication technology is actually developed by what? It is developed by both option A and B, which include Center for Artificial Intelligence and Robotics, or CAIR of Bangalore, and the DRDO Young Scientist Laboratories of Quantum Technology, or the DYSL-QT of Mumbai. And the final question is, according to the SIPRI report, in terms of the total military spend, India's rank is how much? India's rank is third. In case of the total military spend, remember, in case of the total military spend, India's rank is third. But if in case it has been mentioning about the importing, then India is considered to be the second rank. Okay, in case of the world-class importers, then this will be the second one. Now we will have the question of the day, and the question of the day for today is, on 8th of December 2020, which country has announced that it is going to build a new nuclear powered aircraft carrier that will be on sea by 2038? I repeat, on 8th December 2020, which country has recently announced that it is going to build a new nuclear powered aircraft carrier that will be on sea by 2038? The answer for this particular question and the details regarding it I will be giving you in the next session. Until then, stay tuned to SSB Crack Exams. Subscribe to this channel. Download the Android app from Google Play Store. Always stay safe, stay healthy, keep smiling, be confident. Jai Hind.